This series is basically a compilation of just mini posts talking about my transition from growing up in the inner city of Kansas City, Missouri, and transitioning into a spiritual path that helped me find who I truly am and helped me create a sense of peace within myself. So now I kind of want to jump into the things that I've kind of learned along the journey, like some of the lessons that I held on to that helped me kind of achieve abundance in my life, manifest things that I wanted in my life. And there's just some things that I had to address before actually fully being able to receive. Like I stated in the previous video, if you want to receive a experience of a higher frequency, you have to let go of the lower frequency experience that is taking its place. But in order to let go of that lower frequency experience from previous, you have to let it come to the surface. You have to address it. You have to face it. You have to understand why you went through that in the first place before you can release the energetic attachment to the experience and then allow yourself to receive. So it's a multi-step process to get to the place of actually changing your energy. I really had to stand on my own, and I really learned what I was capable of when, I had nothing really to fall back on besides my faith, knowing that I had everything that I needed to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I'm learning Reiki. I just found out I became a mother. I'm in this new relationship. I'm down in Alabama by myself. It was a lot going on at the same time, and there was a lot of stress in that situation, with all the fears coming up and everything in regards to my ability to actually guide this soul that I'm planning to bring into the world, let alone cultivating a stronger relationship between me and his father now, because we're still new and getting to know each other, and now we're bringing a child into this world. And so at the time, I was not necessarily in the place of peace and understanding that I am now. I hadn't slowed down really. I was still really city mentality. I've came to the understanding that the environment that you're in mirrors the energy that you have within yourself, and therefore, in the previous episode, it mirrors the relationships that you actually have in your life. So then that got me thinking, what happens to children who are born into an environment in which they can't control, and how being children, how we come into this world as clean beings. We come into this world as a clean vessel of energy, and how the different experiences that we actually have actually contribute to the shift in our energy, and how it's our parents' job to kind of take on that place of protection for us, in a sense, to prevent our energy from being altered or changed. And so what happens when we're in an environment where our parents are doing the best that they can, but as children, we are affected by the environment in which we grow up in? I know last episode it got a little deep. We started talking about the lessons that I learned while on the spiritual journey, and today we're gonna dive a little deeper. That's kind of the process of healing in general. You kind of get down in there, and then you dive, and then you dive, and you clean, and you dive, and then you finally get to a place where there's light on both ends, top and bottom, and then light can shine through. So this is just that process. So this is a little more information about just deep diving. So we first started talking about last episode, we started talking about how the relationships in our lives mirror what is kind of going on internally with us. And so as we do more internally, we're able to then transcend the relationships that we have around us. And so today I kind of want to talk more in regards to how these initial blockages kind of got put there in the first place. We'll dive a little more into repeated cycles, but actually start to get more towards the lighter side of things. But before we can actually get to the light, we have to understand how to actually get out of the darkness. And so it was necessary to dive into the darkness in order to heal. A couple episodes back, we talked about how you dive deep into your shadows to do your healing, and you keep diving until you dig all the way through so that you can have a light on both ends. And so as you're coming out of that, there's actually a process of transitioning from being within the darkness, because that's a whole different frequency, and then getting to that light. I wasn't comfortable. I was comfortably uncomfortable in the space of negative things, negative thoughts, negative energy. I had found my pattern in that. And so I had created a method to actually go about existing within that type of energy. So when it was time to switch over to a lighter energy or more positive energy, I realized I struggled a little bit with being comfortable in a more positive space. So I had to open up to the concept of positive energies, positive emotions, positive experiences, and knowing that I deserve to actually be within that positive energy before it could fully manifest within my life. And so a very hard lesson that I have been taught recently that has definitely sent me through a lot of shifts and a lot of understanding and made me sit in meditation more is understanding that when we have a goal set for ourselves, and I think I've explained this before, but I haven't necessarily experienced it before now on the lighter side of things. So when you have a goal set for yourself, you set an intention for yourself, then you start walking down that path. And then everything you need then joins you on that path for you to either learn, let go, or collect skills that's going to help you for when you get to your end goal. Because you don't only want to get to the end goal, you want to be able to sustain the end goal once you get there. That whole process of shedding the old, I had set the intention to do that in order to actually step into allowing a higher frequency of energy within my being so that I can be a better, more balanced me, but also a better, more balanced practitioner as well. And so in order for me to be able to elevate in how I'm able to help other people, I had to elevate myself in that process. And so that is called an ascension, basically. So an ascension is going through the process of raising your vibration. And in order to raise your vibration, you have to make room for that new vibration to come in. So all the things we talked about in this series were basically what I did in order to make space, release, and figure out, I had to figure out where my blockages were, and I had to open up the different areas. That's a testament to things are forever changing. And so just in the span of the time frame that I've done this vlog, I've learned a lot. I have expressed myself a lot. I have opened up a lot. I have released a lot. And so a lot has changed. So one of the things that I understand that I need to relate to you guys is kind of more about the process of what it actually looks like to go through an awakening. So we've talked about the different things that I've felt and the different understandings that I've come into, but we haven't really talked about the physical effects of going through an awakening. And this is just what happened. This was just a reminder for me more of why I go through the process that I go through in regards to ascending, in regards to facing my shadows, in regards to healing my past trauma, because it puts me in a position where things cultivate easier. Things move smoother in my life now, and I'm less stressed, less anxious, less depressed. Like, I was struggling with a lot of these emotions for a long time, and now that I've come into myself more spiritually and got connected with who I am internally, I feel like I'm bossing life right now. And so I can't wait to see what this new energy that I'm in cultivates,